This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee with your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 an order. Additional terms apply.
On today's Smart 7, the Tories and Labour wrestle over the economy, 5 charged in Matthew Perry investigation and much more. It's Friday 16th of August, it's rollercoaster day, and happy birthday, Madonna.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Ukrainian forces are now 35 kilometers inside Russia's Kursk region and fully control the town of Sudza, according to Ukrainian President Zelensky. Sudza is the location of a key Russian pumping station for sending gas to Europe. Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief General Syrsky announced that Ukraine was setting up a military commandant's office for the Kursk region to ensure that order would be kept and the needs of the local population met. Ukraine continues to insist it has no interest in a long-term occupation of Kursk, but MP Maria Mezentseva says the focus is on keeping civilians caught up in the war safe.
We completely adhere to international humanitarian law. We are supplying those civilians who are remaining at the Kursk territory with food, medication, with everything which is needed, and of course, the corridors for evacuation.
It emerged on Thursday that British Challenger 2 tanks were used in the assault on the Kursk region, but the Ministry of Defence has reiterated that Ukraine has a right to use donated weapons for self-defence. Former UK Ambassador to Belarus Nigel Gould-Davies says that Ukraine's Western allies have been supportive.
We have credible reports of Western equipment from other countries, including the United States, being used in this daring Ukrainian incursion onto Russian territory. So we're not alone in this, we're in good company.
There was good news for the UK on Thursday as the latest figures from the Office for National Statistics showed growth of 0.6% in the economy between April and June. That's a slight decrease on the first quarter growth of 0.7%, but it's a positive sign after last year's brief recession. It's still a long way off what the new Labour government is hoping to see as they plan to take the brakes off Britain, and there was a warning from economists that growth may slow in the second half of the year. Tories Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury Laura Trott says the data proves that her government left things in good shape.
These are really positive GDP figures this morning, but the only person who's not out celebrating them is the Chancellor. You know, Rachel Reeves is sitting in the Treasury fuming because this is yet more data to undermine her narrative that the economic inheritance was bad.
Labour's Chief Secretary to the Treasury Darren Jones says Labour are dealing with the highest debt burden in 60 years and the highest tax level, which means that they still have a mountain to climb.
What we inherited from the Conservatives was the worst fiscal inheritance since the Second World War. And that means we've got very challenging economic circumstances. We welcome growth in the economy, but we've got much, much more work to do to recover from the mess that we left with.
Students across the UK got their A-level results on Thursday, with the number of top grades up slightly on last year and also up on pre-pandemic levels. 2020 and 2021 saw exams cancelled and marks awarded on teacher assessment, which led to a high level of so-called grade inflation. However, this year's results have highlighted a new issue, a stark gap between grades achieved in London and in the Midlands and North East. New Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson says that one of the principal causes of the gap is child poverty, and that's why it's a government priority.
We do sadly know that there are big gaps that have opened up and are widening where it comes to outcomes for students from places like the North East compared to, say, London. I'm determined to turn that around.
An official report on the Met Police, the UK's biggest police force, found that it was providing an inadequate or failing service on 7 of 8 key metrics. The report from His Majesty's Inspector of Constabulary was described as devastating, and it comes 2 years after Met Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley promised sweeping reforms. The areas described as inadequate included investigating crime and managing offenders, with improvement required in preventing crime, leadership and dealing with the public. His Majesty's Inspector Lee Freeman says that middle-ranking officers appeared to have limited knowledge of the plan and that there is work to be done.
The new team in the 18 months that they have been in since when we did the inspection have made many key changes that I'm sure will have an impact. So this is very much a work in progress.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Ten Hag says he's not ready for the new season and cops charge 5 over Matthew Perry death. Right after this.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee with your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 an order. Additional terms apply.
Welcome back. Friday night marks the start of the new Premier League season as Manchester United welcome Fulham for the opening game. It's been a hectic summer for United boss Ten Hag, who was nearly fired by new part owners Ineos after his side finished 8th last season. But now he has a new 2-year contract, some new signings and some great prospects like England teen star Kobe Mainu. But with a long injury list, Ten Hag was still sounding very cautious before game 1 of the season.
The team is not ready, but the league starts. And there are more managers to deal with this problem. We definitely have this problem, but we have to make a start. We can't hide ourselves, we can't run away from it. So we have to deal with
it. Multiple people were arrested and charged on Thursday over the death of actor Matthew Perry. The Friends star was found dead in his hot tub last October, and traces of the drug ketamine were found in his system. He'd spoken about his battles with addiction over many years, and it was believed that he'd been undergoing ketamine therapy to help treat depression, but medical tests showed the level of the drug in his system was far higher than would be expected. Now, police in LA have charged 5 people who they say took advantage of Matthew Perry's addiction issues, as US Attorney Martin Estrada explains.
This network included a live-in assistant, various go-betweens, 2 medical doctors, and a major source of drug supply known as, quote, the ketamine queen. We charge 5 defendants in this matter.
There's a new movie on the way described as a gripping feminist take on the body horror genre, and it stars Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. It's called The Substance, and it tells the story of an aging TV star put under pressure by an evil boss called Harvey, played by Dennis Quaid. He convinces Moore to take the substance, which turns you into a younger version of yourself, but only for 7 days at a time. It looks incredible and intense, and Demi Moore is brilliant in it, according to early reviews. It hits cinemas on September 20th.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect. One single injection unlocks your DNA and will release another version of yourself. This is The Substance.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.